Well, it's that time again.
Hey, kid. Yeah, you. Everyone thinks toys are fun, but this is a channel for adults. Yeah, I said it. If you're under the age of 18, go get your parents before you come in here. If you're under the age of 13, scram! Let's get on with the show.
I've got a couple boxes here. I believe that most of them are from purchases and things like that. But I know for a fact one of them is just an out-of-the-blue box. We're going to save that one for last. But anytime I unbox something, if I do it off camera, I feel like I'm not sharing everything with you guys. So I like to film the stuff just in case you like it. Let's do this. This is a very worn box, and there's a name on it that I don't recognize. It says, "Attention, James Milburn." And the label is really weathered. Like, this person just saved this box. It's interesting to me. I like that even the boxes can have stories sometimes, depending upon what you're getting and who you're getting it from. Now, what's interesting is that the person who sent this is not named James Milburn. The return address is on here, and I'm not going to show it for obvious reasons, but it's just one of those things that happen, you know? Kind of reminds me of that whole phenomena where you see someone on the street, or you have like just an exchange a glance or a smile with someone, and once in a blue moon you might think about them, like, wonder what they're doing. I don't know if I'm the only person that thinks this, but that's how I think. So they have a box top in here, which is interesting. Oh, I know what this is. I know what this is. Lots of bubble tape, bubble wrap stuff. Okay, I was about to pitch a fit. This is a Delta probe from Series 2 of Superpowers. I was about to pitch a fit because I thought some of the parts were missing. They are not. They're inside this hatch. But I don't know how to get this hatch open. I don't know how this works. I've never had one of these before, and I don't know how to open it. It won't open. How would I get a figure in there? Is there a button? Is there a hinge? Help! What do I do? I have a game for you. How many 44-year-olds does it take to open a Delta Probe 1? Oh, it's spring. Aha, I found it. Spring-loaded. You open it like that. And I really wish that they hadn't done what they did. So now I have this piece, which is good. I'm trying to make sure. Now, here's what's interesting. I specifically bought this for the top mount, but it also had a side piece that appears to be missing. Very not cool. This is not what I bought. And I'm very angry right now. Yeah, pretty sure this is missing a piece or two. And one of the pieces I specifically bought this for. So, little upset. I will double check. I will double check the listing and see what's going on. So, I ended up having to take a few pictures and sending the seller a request for a return due to the missing parts. The fact is that there were two pieces missing on that Delta probe that were the specific reasons that I bought it. The rear hatch and the right side gun. The other Delta probe that I have, which you have not seen yet, and there's reasons for that, which you'll find out in time, it has the left side gun and no rear hatch. So this was a perfect way to marry the two into pretty much a perfect Delta Probe 1. Now, the shell by itself as it is, it's in pretty good condition, and even with those missing parts, it still looks like a cool vehicle. But I'm not just looking for a half-ass anything. I want to complete these vehicles and get this done. I was really excited to get this, but let that be a lesson to you, kids. Not all toy collecting is fun in games and no stress. Sometimes when you're buying things on the second-hand market, you're going to run into some things that don't really add up. I've been very lucky up to this point in my second-hand buying experiences, not just for toys, but in general. But once in a while, something comes along and you're like, that's not right. Never, ever back down if you are in the right when it comes to these types of things. Places like eBay have systems in place to protect the consumer, and I suggest you avail yourself of them. But at the end of the day, hey, I still got a Delta probe. Well, another one. How many Delta probes do I need? I guess it depends on how many Robins I have. Anyway, moving on. This is a very, very light container. And I have a pretty good idea of what's in here, but I'm not 100%. I'm really not. But it's so light. I have no idea what this is. Oh, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I got me a rather minty on-card Longbow Robin Hood from the Robin Hood Prince of Thieves line. Now, you're like, Jim, you don't collect Robin Hood Prince of Thieves. You're right, I don't. But what I wanted was this bow. Because it is taken off, it is a mock-up or a repress of the original mold from the Green Arrow of Superpowers collection. And they're in the same scale. But I was talking to Michael French last night after our live stream, and he informed me that there's 2 variants of this bow even within this line. And he can't determine which sculpt goes to which, or if there's a color variance that can be attributed to it and so forth. But ultimately, this one is not the one-to-one for the Green Arrow. So the one that for Green Arrow, and I don't know if you can see this, and I'll try to show. Can you see there's a little hole in there? That's for these big arrows that you get with the toy. Now all of them have that. So it's not a perfect one-to-one reuse, right? They all have this hole in the middle. But the one, whether it's the original or the later, we're not sure. But there's a little notch on the side, which is what the Green Arrow one had for these smaller arrows that he would carry. Now, my worst case scenario here is that I would just use this as is. Like, I have no issue. Like, I love these arrows that he has. I think they're really cool, and I like this bow. Because I'm not overly concerned with being super accurate on these things. I get as close as I can. I'll do repaints. I don't mind. Because some of the parts for some of these Superpowers figures are so bleeding expensive that I can't justify it. Just to have it on the shelf and play with it once in a while to make for something that is so fragile also, right? So when you can get one of these guys in this kind of condition for $25, you get them. But I will say that I am tempted to leave him on the card because the card is so nice. With a few exceptions on the back. There's some damage right here. I don't know if you can see. But nothing crazy. And what's interesting is that if you look at his face sculpt, that is clearly attempting to be Kevin Costner. Now look at the back. That's not Kevin Costner. That's not even an attempt to be Kevin Costner. Recast, perhaps? I don't know. I will have to wait for Michael's retroblasting video on this series to find out. But it's got great cross-sell on the back, instructions for your bow and so forth. And I like this figure more and more the longer I have it in my hand. So who knows what will happen? Who indeed knows? Look, another box. Always gotta love it when it says fragile on the box. I like that. That's always a good touch. Ooh. Now, this is for Suze. We were bebopping around on the internet Friday or so, and as some of you may know, she collects variants of the Angela character from Spawn. She has about a half a dozen of them. And we came across this one, and she was hem-hawing a little bit. This is the special limited edition ultra deluxe. I guess it's just the same character but blue. I don't I don't really know, to be honest with you. And this is from the original line, because the cross sell has the initial release figures, of which I had most of them when I was younger. So if you look here, I had Spawn, I had Violator, I had Medieval Spawn, and I think I had Clown. Never got around to getting the second run, but there's a lot of stuff in this line that I don't really give it credit for. And they're not horribly expensive if you look at them. But I guess her whole special limited edition is just that she happens to be a blue variant. I don't know. But I know that this original line is loved by a lot of folks. Suze loves it, so therefore I love it. And I'm sure she's going to absolutely adore this thing. I have a feeling that this is a case of save the best for last. So this one is from our good friend, James Saltzburg. I'm trying to figure out where I'm supposed to open this thing. It's one of those very specific kind of, oh, right here. Spoke too soon. Label on it. Shit. I knew these were coming, and it's different when you hold them in your hand. Yeah, it's a lot different when you hold them in your hand. This is a Mego Captain America. And this is a Mego Spider-Man. As I understand it, this is from James's childhood collection. And I believe that he shared these with his brother, who is no longer with us, unfortunately. So when someone takes the time to send something this special, it means a lot. I have very specific memories attached to this particular figure. I had two of them growing up. My dog got a hold of the first one, chewed them all up, and graciously I was afforded a second one by a grandparent, I believe. And I always loved this figure. I always felt that the Mego Spider-Man was pretty spot on for the time. And I always had a lot of love for this Captain America figure, right? Not the most accurate in the world, but damn, a lot of fun. You know, great soft goods suit on him. The shield for its age is just fine. Just a beautiful remembrance of the past, and it would be really amazing to have these from any source. I was looking at Mego Spider-Man because I'm such a Spider-Man fanatic. And in an idle conversation, James caught wind of this, like, hey, I have some. I'm just going to send them. I'm like, you what? But he did, and I later found out the significance of them, and I cannot thank you enough, James. This is really special. Really special. Thank you. But that's not all he sent. Now, when we had this conversation, I had had a few beers, and it was late. I don't recall any discussion of this at all. And this is why my jaw dropped when I opened the box. The first thing that I saw... Oh, look. This is a glove. I think... Is this for Captain America? Oh. Well, sorry. The first thing I saw was what looks like a reproduction ID card for Commando Snake Eyes. which is just, and I can tell it's repo because of the blackback. It's just beautiful. It might even be one of the reissues. I honestly don't know. And James, if we did discuss this, I apologize. I'm not trying to be obtuse or anything. I just don't remember. Wow. That's awesome. And I honestly didn't know that Snake Eyes was just an E5. Damn it, I was just an E4. And in here we've got some spare Lego pieces for like toy repairs and stuff. Yeah, I think this is one of the reissues. Yeah. I want to open the bag just now, but okay. So he sent a couple things along that we discuss at different points. So he's got his he's got his Uzi and his sword. And he's looking pretty nice in there. But James sent along these Lego pieces because he knows I'm trying to repair a Brainiac that I have in my collection, and I don't have these pieces. And he just had some extra, as he says, and sent them along. So I'm going to happily use these to repair my figures. But I do not remember a conversation about no damn Snake Eyes, sir. But thank you. This is really cool. This is really cool. What a neat figure. Look at this guy. Yeah, it's just great. That is great. And he looks to be in scale, so he's going to hang out next to Gung Ho, and they're going to have a little kegger or something. I don't know. I don't know. I do not know. But he's got his little Uzi in there and a sword and everything. It's pretty cool, man. I sure appreciate you. On one hand, some of the stuff we got was not crazy exciting, but it was a diverse pile of stuff. I got to talk about some things I don't normally get to talk about. Like, this may be the only time you ever hear me talk about Robin Hood Prince of Thieves figures. It may not. I don't know yet. This might be the beginning of a new sickness. Who knows? But y'all never thought I was going to have any Mego figures. And I keep saying over and over again that I'm not collecting G.I. Joe, yet they keep showing up on my damn doorstep. But you know what? I love opening stuff when it comes. I like it more when it's the stuff that I expect, but sometimes the unexpected leads to great things. So I want to thank Michael for giving me the heads up on that whole thing with the bow. And yes, I will be reaching out to him very soon because he's like, let me know what you got. So I will definitely do that. Extra special thanks to James Saltzburg for that tremendous box. Really special. Really special. Thank you. But a big thanks to the other seller that did send that Angela in such a great condition. So, 3 out of 4, not bad. Update on the Delta probe. Just as I'd finished speaking my way through the video, this is still the same video file that I'm recording. The seller sent me a message, let me know that his initial reaction was, are you trying to scam me? But he decided to check the box that his toys were in before making any accusations. And he said, sure enough, the hatch and the blue gun were there. And those are the only parts that he could find that didn't come with the vehicle. When he sent it, he apologized, and he's going to be sending those on shortly. I'll be making a follow-up video with my Frankenstein Delta probe, and then we'll have a feature video of the Series 2 Superpowers Collection vehicles as soon as possible. I am technically missing 2 parts. The seatbelt for the Darkside Destroyer, which, again, not expensive, but this one's harder to come by. The other one being the bomb itself for the Delta probe. Near as I can tell, it's the only thing I'm missing once these parts that he is sending on arrive. That's easy to come by and not expensive, but I need to make sure that the Delta probe is complete otherwise before I get that piece, because at least for me, because that bomb just kind of sits there, it's like a cherry on top kind of a deal. So, whatever. We'll get there. And it was really nice to see someone, so snappy to respond and willing to help. So, a bad situation got a heck of a lot better. In the meantime, may all your grinds be merry, may all your card backs be unwrinkled, and I hope you can get anything you're looking for at any time at a reasonable price. Thanks for watching. Take care.